So how to never have a worry or care in the world about what you're going to say next in conversations. And how to unlock this almost endless stream of things to talk about, to just have the right thing come to you without you having to force it or jump from one topic to the next in a way that feels a little bit unnatural. So I'm just going to get this out of the way. I'll give this to you straight. I think a lot of the online advice I've seen when it comes to this topic is pretty useless, or I haven't found it very helpful. There seems to be this real focus on rehearsing lines or coming prepared with things to talk about, asking the other person loads of questions. What do you do for work? What are your hobbies? And the thing is, this stuff is not going to help you. This emphasis on rehearsing and coming prepared, it's actually making you more stressed out and inadvertently making it harder for you to think of things to say. And there's a scientific basis to this, which I'll get into. But the other reason I feel like no one talks about is if you're asking loads of questions and just switching topics, throwing questions out there, throwing topics out there, you're not doing that out of interest to the other person. You're kind of doing it out of fear because you're afraid of reaching this lull in the conversation when neither of you knows what to say, the awkward silence. You're just running from that. And that experience, no one talks about this, is a lot more stressful than fun. It's not enjoyable. And if we're not enjoying it, what's even the point in talking to this person? So that's something I'm going to cover as well. But yeah, I'll just get this out of the way. I'm looking to coach a couple of people at the moment, completely free, just a way of giving back to you guys. I want to get to know you guys a little bit better. So if that sounds interesting to you, you can book a half an hour call with me through the link in my YouTube bio. And yeah, it's just very low stakes, very informal, just me listening and seeing if there's anything I can help you with. Very casual. Yeah, just wanted to get that out of the way. So my biggest issue with thinking of things to say in conversations was, again, I'd follow this advice, like I'm going to rehearse lines, these are the questions I'm going to ask this specific person. And I'd cycle through these things. And I think that rather than listening to the other person, rather than actually like absorbing and taking in what they were saying, I'd ask a question. And then whilst they're answering, I'd already be like 3 steps ahead, like thinking of the next 3 topics that I'm going to talk about. So I'm not even like present and conscious. I'm just in this permanent state of stress, thinking about what's going to come next because I'm afraid of this awkward silence. So the way I discovered that this was actually the thing holding me back, like this emphasis on like preparation, was I tried to think about the experiences where actually I don't struggle for things to say, because the situation I'm describing where I'd be getting like really stressed out and paranoid that I'm going to run out of things to talk about, that would usually be around new people. That would be at like parties at university or bars or on nights out. So I think on some level, that's normal. You are going to be like a little bit anxious around new people. But this is the situation where I never felt like any pressure or anything for what to say was when I was around my closest friends from school. So imagine we log on to play some games after school and we're just having a great time. It's something you look forward to all week. We're kicking back, making jokes, playing some games. And I know people will probably say, like, this is because you know them and you trust them, and that factors into it. But not once in any of those sessions or any time I was with my friends did I consciously think about what I was going to say next. Like, it's not even a thought that registered in my head. I was like, I'm not thinking about like the next 10 topics. We're just naturally flowing, having a good time, going from one topic to the next. And the fun of it was not knowing where the conversation was going to end up. I was not rehearsing shit around my friends because that's not normal. Trying to control the direction of a conversation isn't normal. It's much more fun and exciting to just flow from one topic to the next and not really know where the one conversation is going to start and end. There's two things that I identified about like what set these experiences apart with my friends to the conversations that would stress me out. And those two things were a feeling of safety and fun. And this kicked everything off for me because I did some research into the nervous system. Your nervous system is the part of your body responsible for like scanning danger in your environment, like detecting threats. And I learned that when your body is in a state of like survival, fight or flight survival mode, it is impossible, like almost scientifically impossible, to think of what to say next. The parts of your brain responsible for like creativity, for stringing sentences and thoughts together, they literally get switched off, or they become like really foggy. Like, you know, you get this insane brain fog where you're thinking of what to say next, it just doesn't come to you. You might think of the right thing to say like 2 hours later, but you get this insane brain fog. And that's actually there for a reason, because your body believes it's about to die, so it cannot focus on anything else but getting the fuck out of this potentially dangerous situation. It turns off the part of your brain responsible for humor, expression, your tonality. Your entire personality just gets killed when you're in survival mode. So when I talk about safety, I mean like the nervous system feeling safe. When I'm with my friends, everything feels natural because I'm not detecting like any kind of danger. I know they're not going to reject me. I know they're not going to judge me, like we're cool. Around new people, I don't have that same sense of safety. And part of that is like, that's understandable. Like that's going to be the case. But a lot of like this reaction we have around new people, it comes from like past trauma. Like, I'm not using the word trauma lightly. This is just exactly what it is. It's almost like a form of PTSD, because around a new person, you don't know what kind of person they are yet. You don't know if they're good or bad. But if your brain is automatically going to like, oh, this person is a threat, I need to win them over, I need to impress them, that's 90% of the time you reacting to the past, to some kind of past danger, some past wound that you've experienced where you were humiliated or rejected and felt something very negative. So a lot of this, first of all, we have to realize we're just kind of reacting to the past here and danger that is no longer there. But either way, that is what is putting our body in fight or flight, this reaction to the past, and making it harder to like think of what to say. And yeah, the other thing was fun. And I never realized this at the time, but like constantly trying to control the direction of a conversation isn't fun. Like, this is what I was talking about. Your best ideas, your creativity, your best jokes, they're never going to come to you when you're trying to control the direction, when you feel a need to like rehearse and manage things. It's almost impossible to have fun. And it's like, for me, on a level, the purpose of communication in general, at least my perspective on it, should be to have fun. Like, I go out, I go to bars, I mingle, I meet people. That's to have fun. I'm going there by choice. So why am I living in fear of like, the truth is, why am I living in fear of like potentially awkward moments? Like, on some level, that's something I'm going to have to live with. I need to be able to tolerate, like, sometimes this conversation is going to reach a natural pause where neither of us have things to say. But it's like, because of these past traumas that I've been through where I was awkward and got rejected or something, I physically can't make myself do that. I have to constantly be thinking, oh, where am I going to take it next? But what you're doing is you're reinforcing the danger. It's like, imagine if you're like, the way you're probably looking at communication and conversation right now, you're looking at it as like a test, as something where it's possible to either succeed at this or fail at it. And if I fail, there's going to be some kind of consequences. In theory, there's a right way to go about this. When you should be looking at it as like an experiment. There's no way to fail this. I'm just going to throw lots of ideas out there. If someone doesn't like me, that's not the end of the world. Like, that just means we're incompatible. Yeah, there's no way to fail a conversation. And when you look at conversations that way, they stop becoming so stressful because there's no real consequences if it does go wrong. Like, there's never really going to be any like long-lasting consequences. So going back to this idea of like the point of conversations is to have fun. When it comes to like never running out of things to say and having this like constant stream of things to talk about, we've covered like part one, which is kind of just accepting the fact that, well, we discussed what's going on in our body, we're reacting to like past fear. Then we just talked about the acceptance of like, okay, there is going to be like some level of awkwardness sometimes, but we can't fucking fail a conversation, can we? We're not in any real danger here. And psychologically, we need to let go a little bit. But when it comes to having this endless stream of things to talk about, that is linked to fun. Because I realized when I'm having fun, I'm completely unfazed by everything. If I'm around my best friends and something goes wrong, or I don't know, the thing that came into my head is I'm out with my guys, I'm having a great time, we're at the club, and let's say I'm having so much fun. If I got like rejected by a girl at the club or something, I never cared. I might have cared like if I was on my own, if I hadn't had these experiences, if I wasn't like bathing in this like positive energy, maybe I would have cared. But when you're having fun, fun provides safety. Fun is what stops things from feeling life or death. When you're having fun and you're entertaining yourself, conversations stop feeling so stressful. They stop feeling like a test. Yeah, fun makes everything easier. Fun provides that sense of safety. And that is what allows your brain to access your natural personality, your humor. You're not feeling this sense of danger anymore. Everything gets calmed down. And that is when you will just start having these thoughts. So sometimes, since I've like gotten in touch with this skill more, because it is a skill, the skill of entertaining yourself. This is something I should have said before. The frame we're trying to come from is like, instead of it's my job to make this person happy or entertain them, what I'm going to do is fuck all that. I'm going to try and entertain myself. This moment, this conversation, it's not selfish to say this. This should be about my enjoyment. I'm not going to worry about whether they're having a good time. How can I make this as fun as possible for me? We don't talk about this enough. We're very like self-sacrificing in conversations, like ask them loads of questions, show an interest in them. I'm not going to ask someone a question that I don't actually care about because that's insincere. I'm not going to ask them a question out of politeness because there's no spark, there's no life to this conversation. But if I'm out to have fun and to entertain myself and to make myself laugh, that is when my natural dialogue returns, because I'm enjoying myself. I'm not in danger anymore. So yeah, now I've gotten a little bit better at this skill. I have trust in myself to be able to just go over to like a group of strangers. I might ask a few questions at the start, but like the right words just end up coming to me because I'm not trying to control the outcome. This is what people are very good at when they're drunk, because you don't need alcohol for this, but drinking numbs that like sense of danger that we feel, lowers our inhibitions, and it just allows us to access what's already there underneath these like layers of anxiety and danger. But it's already there. And I used to think I could only access that with alcohol, but now I find myself like, it sounds like I'm being big-headed, but sometimes I'll say something, I'm like, that was very fucking clever. Like, where the hell did that come from? You just think of it on the fly because your creativity is able to work. So hopefully you're getting to the point that this requires like some level of trust in yourself. And this is difficult at first. But once you understand you're not in any danger, and like I said before, you're often reacting to past danger, and you just aim to have fun, entertain yourself, make your own jokes, steer the conversation towards things that you're passionate about, that you want to talk about, or just have fun in any way that you know how. That is when the right words will just come to you, man. Hopefully this isn't like a disappointing thing, because this, I promise you, this is better than like any technique you could use. The less preparation you do, the better off you will be. The more you try to prepare, the more brain fog you'll get. And the more unable you'll be to access what is naturally in your brain, like the best parts of your personality, your funniest jokes, your most interesting stories and topics of conversations. Those will be cut off. But when we're trying to have fun, we're able to bring that out again. We're able to show our best side to the world without really even like putting in much effort. And the best part of this, despite the fact that we're focusing on ourselves and our own fun, kind of disregarding the other person in a way, they'll end up having a better time too. If you're just asking them loads of questions that you don't really care about and cycling through topics out of fear, then that's going to come across in your energy. And energy is the most important thing. It's more important than the words themselves that we say. It's the energy that you bring. And the energy comes from fun. Are you enjoying yourself? So me talking about the things I want to talk about and making jokes that I don't care if anyone else laughs at because I'm going to laugh, that ironically ends up transferring to the other person. They end up feeling what I feel. And this is true for absolutely everything. If I'm feeling a little bit tense and awkward, they're going to feel it. But if I'm relaxed, I'm at ease, and I'm having fun, most importantly, they are going to have fun. So yeah, I appreciate this video was a little bit all over the place. I just kind of threw loads of ideas out there. But again, this is one of my most like tried and tested things that I've ever taught on this channel. Stop preparing so much. Trust yourself and just try to have fun, and everything will naturally come flooding back. So yeah, just a reminder about the coaching. Book a call with me in the bio, completely free. Let's see if I can help you. Take care, man. See you soon.